The 1999 Georgia State Quarter holds a special place in American numismatic history because it was part of the very first year of the groundbreaking 50 State Quarters program launched by the United States Mint, and it represents the state of Georgia, which ratified the United States Constitution on January 2nd, 1788, becoming the fourth state to join the Union. And when the coin was released on July 19, 1999, it quickly captured national attention as collectors and everyday Americans began pulling these new designs from circulation and setting them aside as treasured keepsakes that celebrated state pride and American heritage. The obverse of the Georgia Quarter features the familiar portrait of George Washington, designed by John Flanagan, which had appeared on quarters since 1932. And this classic image connects the modern state series to the long-standing tradition of United States coinage, while the reverse introduces a bold and symbolic design showcasing the outline of the state of Georgia, a large ripe peach, representing the state nickname as the Peach State Sprigs of Live Oak, symbolizing strength and endurance, and the state motto Wisdom, Justice, Moderation, placed prominently to reflect Georgia's guiding principles. Georgia's identity as the Peach State dates back to the 19th century when its climate and soil proved ideal for growing high-quality peaches, and although the state is not the largest producer today, the peach remains one of its most recognized symbols, so the inclusion of the fruit on the quarter not only celebrates agriculture but also represents Southern hospitality, resilience, and economic history that shaped communities across the region. The live oak branches depicted on the coin reflect the natural beauty and enduring spirit of the state. Since live oaks are known for their strength, longevity, and sweeping branches that provide shelter and shade across Georgia landscapes, particularly in historic coastal cities like Savannah, where these majestic trees draped in Spanish moss have become iconic images of the American South. The motto, Wisdom, Justice, Moderation, has deep historical roots and appears on the state seal of Georgia, and by placing these words on the quarter, the design connects citizens to the values that have guided Georgia since its early days as a colony founded in 1733 by James Oglethorpe, who envisioned it as a place of opportunity, reform, and structured growth within. The British Empire before it later joined the movement for independence. As one of the first 5 coins released in 1999, alongside Delaware, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, and New Jersey, the Georgia Quarter benefited from enormous public enthusiasm because the State Quarters program marked the first time in American history that circulating coins would change regularly to honor each state in order of ratification. And this innovative approach sparked one of the largest coin-collecting movements the nation had ever seen. The coin was minted at 3 facilities including Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco, with the Philadelphia and Denver mints producing coins for circulation, while San Francisco struck proof versions in both clad and silver compositions for collectors, and millions upon millions were produced, ensuring that nearly every American had the opportunity to encounter this tribute to Georgia in everyday commerce. Collectors often search for high-grade examples, particularly those with strong strikes-clear details on the peach and oak leaves and minimal contact marks because condition greatly influences value. And while most circulated examples remain worth face value, uncirculated rolls, proof sets, and coins graded at the highest mint state levels can command premium prices in the numismatic market. The 1999 Georgia Quarter also played an educational role as teachers and parents used the State Quarters program to introduce children to geography, history, and civics, and many young collectors began filling maps and albums with coins from each state, learning about ratification dates, state symbols, and regional heritage as they searched for the newest release in pocket change. Georgia's rich Civil War history also adds deeper meaning to the quarter, because the state was a major battleground during the conflict, and cities such as Atlanta experienced dramatic transformation and rebuilding. And while the coin design focuses on symbols of growth and unity, it indirectly represents a state that endured division and emerged stronger in the modern era. Economically, Georgia has long been a leader in agriculture, transportation, and industry, and by the late 20th century, it had become home to major corporations, bustling ports, and a growing film industry. And the quarter's release in 1999 coincided with a period of expansion and modernization that reflected the dynamic balance between tradition and progress embodied by the peach and the oak. The artistic process behind the coin involved collaboration between state officials, artists, and the United States mint engravers, who translated Georgia's chosen concepts into a design suitable for mass production, and careful attention was paid to balancing symbolism with clarity, ensuring that the peach remained the central focal point, while the state outline framed the composition in a clean and recognizable form. Because 1999 marked the inaugural year of the program, collectors often regard these early state quarters as historically significant beyond their face value, since they represent the beginning of a decade-long series that would ultimately include 50 unique designs, concluding in 2008, and the Georgia issue stands proudly among those first releases that proved the program's success. In terms of mintage, the Georgia quarter reached hundreds of millions of coins combined across Philadelphia and Denver, making it widely available. Yet this high production also means that superbly preserved examples, especially those free from toning spots or heavy abrasions, are sought after by collectors aiming to assemble complete high-grade sets of the entire state series. Proof versions struck in San Francisco display mirror-like backgrounds and frosted design elements that create a striking cameo contrast, and the silver proofs, composed of 90% silver, offer additional appeal for precious metal enthusiasts who appreciate both artistic beauty and intrinsic value within a collectible format. The Georgia quarter remains popular in coin roll hunting, where enthusiasts search bank rolls, hoping to find pristine examples, errors, or varieties. And while no major widely recognized errors dominate the issue, minor die chips off center strikes and other mint anomalies occasionally surface, adding excitement to the search for hidden treasures in everyday change. Georgia's capital city, Atlanta, known as a major transportation hub and cultural center, symbolizes the state's modern growth, and although not depicted on the coin, its spirit of progress resonates with the balanced message of wisdom justice. Moderation, suggesting a state that honors its past while embracing innovation and leadership in the American South. The timing of the coin's release in 1999 also connected to the approaching new millennium, when Americans reflected on history and future aspirations, and the State Quarters program offered a unifying national project that encouraged citizens from every state to appreciate shared heritage while celebrating regional uniqueness. Over the years, the Georgia State Quarter has remained a staple in collections, beginner coin albums, and commemorative displays, and even decades after its release, it continues to circulate, reminding Americans daily of Georgia's agricultural pride, natural beauty, and foundational role as the fourth state to ratify the Constitution. This coin provides endless storytelling opportunities, from colonial beginnings and Revolutionary War contributions to agricultural traditions, Civil War trials, economic transformation, and modern cultural influence, all woven together through the small but powerful canvas of a single 25-cent piece that captures the enduring identity of Georgia within the broader tapestry of United States history. The 1999 Georgia State Quarter represents far more than its face value, because it captures the identity of a state whose history stretches from Native American civilizations through colonial experimentation to constitutional leadership as the fourth state to ratify the United States Constitution in 1788. And by the time this coin entered circulation in July 1999, it symbolized not only Georgia's past, but also the excitement of a new era in American coin collecting as part of the first year of the 50 State Quarters program, which quickly became one of the most successful public initiatives ever launched by the United States Mint. The imagery on the reverse carefully balances symbolism and clarity, with the peach serving as a tribute to Georgia's agricultural heritage and long-standing nickname as the Peach State, while the live oak branches evoke endurance, stability, and Southern tradition, particularly visible in historic coastal regions where centuries-old oaks line streets and public squares, and the inclusion of the state outline frames these symbols geographically, reminding collectors that Georgia's story is both regional and national in scope. Georgia's economic evolution adds deeper meaning to the quarter because the state transitioned from a colonial agricultural economy dependent on rice, cotton, and later peaches into a diversified powerhouse of transportation, commerce, film production, and corporate headquarters. And by the late 20th century, Atlanta had emerged as a global city, especially after hosting the 1996 Summer Olympic Games, projecting a modern image that contrasted yet harmonized with the traditional symbols engraved on the coin. From a numismatic perspective, the Georgia Quarter offers collectors multiple avenues of interest, including circulation strikes from Philadelphia and Denver, as well as clad and silver-proof versions from San Francisco, and although hundreds of millions were minted high-grade examples, with strong luster, sharp peach details and minimal contact marks, remain desirable, while occasional mint errors such as die cracks or off-center strikes add another layer of intrigue for enthusiasts searching through rolls and collections. Over time, the Georgia State Quarter has become a nostalgic emblem of the late 1990s, when families and classrooms across America began filling maps and albums with newly released designs. And for many collectors, this coin represents the starting point of a lifelong passion, connecting them to Georgia's colonial origins, revolutionary resolve, agricultural pride, civil rights legacy, environmental beauty, and continuing growth, all preserved within the enduring design of a single 25-cent piece.